Greetings, my beautiful family. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for having your time and dedicating your time right now to watch us. I'm so excited for you. Please know that. We value you. We appreciate you. We want you to be part of our community, part of our family. Today we want to welcome back our special guest who flew, by the way, from Colorado to support us, the people from Minnesota, people from Minneapolis, with her message, bringing her love, your care, her healing to you, to your home right now. So we want to welcome back our special guest, Tonni. How are you doing today, Tonni?
Awesome.
How was
Thank
your
you,
flight?
Yes. It's quick, right? In and out, yeah.
That is awesome
It
right
was
now.
good.
No restrictions out there with the masks or
Oh,
anything.
thank goodness that is all over.
I know.
Yes.
So praise God for that. So we're
Yes.
so happy to host you here in our
Thank
land,
you.
in our home in here that we can call, right, our home.
It's beautiful.
So hopefully you kind of got to meet our crew here. So we're very
Yes.
welcoming.
Oh,
very
amazing.
So
Yes.
don't we have a
It's
best crew?
amazing. Yes, Ilona. Thank you.
Loving, caring. We love our mission. So people who are here, they want to see this place to be ignited as well. So they love all our guests because it's a part of our family right now. When you come once, you're our guests. When you come second time, you're family, whether you love it or not.
That's right.
So you're part of our family right now,
Thank
part of the
you.
family of the Ilona TV in our mission as well. So last time, we've talked about very sensitive subject. It's about sex addiction in a marriage when it affects the both wife and the husband. So we left off about it affected and impacting the family, including the children. Now let's talk about how does this addiction affect and impact man itself.
Yeah, and that one I'm still learning a lot on, but there's always a reason. There's always a basis for it. Because a woman can even be the sex addict, but a lot of times it's because they were either sexually abused, molested. They did not have a father in their home. They did not grow up with a father figure. They did not have an appropriate relationship with their mother. No mother, no relationship. So there's all kinds of different bases for it, but it affects a lot.
When do you think they know that they have a problems? Is it like early on? Do they know they have problems prior getting the marriage? Do they think that being married will help him to cure this addiction? So what does it go through their head? Do you know?
Well, and I'm not a counselor.
Yeah.
I'm just going from what I've learned through recovery, But sometimes the men don't think it is a problem ever. Never. It's just that's the way men are, you know. It's okay for them to look at other women, and lust after them, or to take pictures of them, or to do whatever they want to, with them or to them or whatever, and it's okay, but it's not okay. And there are some men that know that they have sickness. My ex, finally, I think after that, marrying that second time and stuff, and maybe it was just a ploy at that time, just to buy him some time or whatever, but he said that he was sick and he needed some help, and I totally agreed. Yeah, something has to change here, because this should not be happening over and over again, because people get hurt, and you're dealing with someone else's heart. You're dealing with someone else's life.
I met you at our speaking engagement like this March, right? And you shared from the stage about your story. But the first question that you asked, do you remember? The first question that you have asked when you opened your speech is that, do I look like a woman that will go and spend the time in a jail?
Right.
And our answer was absolutely not. And then, ta-da! Do you mind to sharing your ta-da moment?
That came about, I think it was like the fourth time that I had gotten a text message that I knew was not for me, And so I told him to get his behind home and get his crap out. And when he came, he did not come by himself. He also came with his son, which later I find out that that's the person that had already made the phone call. But he kept getting in my face, and I kept backing up against the counter, and I said, "Get out of my face, get away, go, leave." And he kept getting closer and closer. So I took off and I went out into our attached garage. And he came out there, you know, and I just asked him, I said, why can't you stop hurting us? Meaning, you know, me and my family.
Yeah.
And he goes, I can't. And I called him a liar and I slapped him. Then the police are there. And I'm just a transparent person, always have been. And so, you know, they said, well, can you tell us what had happened? I said, yeah, I'll tell you what happened. I caught him cheating on me again. And I asked him why he couldn't stop. And he said, because I can't. And I called him a liar. And I slapped him. Well, that got me 4 days in jail because it was Friday. So from Friday at noon until Monday at 6 p.m., I spent the whole time in jail. Yeah.
So I know you also married him the second time. So I know
that was
women,
in the first time. Yeah.
I know women, I don't know like if men know that, but women, we love with our ears. So we are very soft when men talk to us.
Yes.
So they're very sneaky. They know how to talk to the women, to like to apologize and everything. So we love with that. We love through our ears, not through the eyes or heart. So what did he tell you possibly that, you know, made you change your mind marrying him again?
Because he wasn't going to do it again. It was over. It was done. Yeah. Yeah, let's get this thing. Then it was the hypocrite, because God's going to change him and he's going to allow, you know, and I'm not going to judge him, but there was no fruit there either afterwards, you know, and I did, we call that gaslighting, what they did. Oh yeah, because they'll just play that game and to get whatever they want to get, no matter the cost, because whose mind and whose heart gets played with. Yeah. So, yeah.
It was, and we know that David also lusted after the woman, right? When he saw her showering, and he even like he said that I cannot go to rest until I have this woman, and this woman was married. So what did he do? He slept with her, got her pregnant. Then he sends her husband to a war, and he gives the command. He said, make sure he's on the front line. So if the enemy attacks, he will be the first one to be killed. And that's what happened. So when man wants a woman, there's nothing stopping him. He becomes like a beast, that animal. Yes, but do you believe that God can sincerely cure the heart of the sex addict?
Absolutely. God can do anything, right? With him, everything is possible. Without him, it's all impossible.
Yes.
But
so how
him,
do you think that healing and this transformation could happen? I know with the story of David, when he had this son, the son was born dead. So he understood that God gave him message of what he did to the wife and to the husband of the, you know, Bathsheba, that he did something wrong. So he said, God, I got your message. So he was, I think he was 7 days and nights, he was laying pretty much on the floor without eating or drinking or anything. So I think it has to come from understanding from their lives, some kind of like special event or tragic event or rock bottom event, I don't know, for us to wake us up. What do you think about that?
Boy, let me tell you what, that woke me up, because, you know, the fact of, you know, through the marriage, I did that twice myself, because of the fact that I just wanted someone to listen to me. I wanted someone to notice me. I wanted someone to pay attention to me. Wrong, absolutely wrong, and I still had a choice in that, but I had to go to rock bottom. And sometimes I think that that's the way they do. There for the 12 steps, you do have to go to the rock bottom. You have to go all the way to step 1 over and over and over again and become powerless. Yeah.
We know that addiction doesn't discriminate, doesn't separate people white or black, you know, women or men, young or old. Addiction is addiction, or rich or poor, right? It attacks anyone and pretty much everyone that is receptive to it. So I don't know if people are born with addiction or people gain the addiction because of the void or something that happens in their life. So what is your intake on that?
I think it has a lot to do with the void, you know, like the dad being gone and not setting up, or, you know, not having a good example at home, or, you know, even, you know, another family member being molested by you know, somewhere or something, and bringing it home, and, you know, so we can start. But man, you know, it's time that we become so educated on this stuff that we don't allow it to go on anymore. That is for sure.
Especially,
You know,
yeah, home.
yeah, because it does. It just keeps repeating. I know alcohol can be a genetic thing. I'm not so sure about sex addiction,
Yes.
whether that is or not. I think it is something that is traumatic that happens to us, you know, because for me, being molested when I was 5 years old, you know, and then my virginity taken away at such an early age, that led me to know that sex was just something that you just did. It wasn't sacred. You just did it, right? And that's not the way God made it at all.
That's true.
No,
That's true.
no, not at all.
Yeah, it has to be
It's
like
sacred.
pleasant with the very sacred with the woman that is, you know, you care about, and the man that you care about. And Bible
Yes.
doesn't say that woman has to love the husbands. It just say obey the husbands, right? Be faithful to the husband. And men have to love the wife as the Christ loves the church. But it's so hard for us right now. Our love is based on if, right? Very conditional,
Yes.
right? I wish sometimes that they would put this word if in a wedding vow. I will be with you into the, you know, happiness, and not if, right? As long as I know I'm happy with you, I will be with you if you know, make sure that I'm happy. So, but promises are hard to keep also with these things. Our world is looking at the love completely different. It's all about looks. It's all about physics. It's all about makeup. It's all about blowing, you know, your asses, blowing your, you know, fronts, and, you know, everything in the men's as well. So it's all about that. So, but my mission is, you know, to tell people that they're beautiful. They don't have to prove anything for anybody, because men will not love you for blowing yourself up. They will enjoy you for a few hours, for a year or so, but they will not love you. Like we talked about it, they cannot, if they cannot, they have nothing to offer from within, nothing they can change externally, you know, they can change internally as well. So there's no university out there that can teach the woman how to be beautiful from within.
That's right.
So, and I know that the most, the wealthiest real estate land on the planet is the graveyard.
Yeah, right.
Where we bury all of our dreams, our messages, our wishes, our hopes, our future, right there.
Right.
Without even standing up and enjoying who we are.
And why can't we? Why can't we enjoy who we are? What is it that we're lacking, right?
Yes.
And
I believe that social media plays a huge part in how we feel and view ourselves, especially in the past, like, I don't know, especially during the pandemic, where the entire world was concentrated into this, you know, iPhones right there in front of them. So the new images would come up, you know, the new self-esteem would come up, build up. So sometimes we get lost in our identity in the mix of social media. And we want to be just like everybody else. But when God, you know, looked at you, I'm like, that's not my plan. I don't want you to be like everybody else. If I want that, I would just, you know, bring the big, you know, print the big, you know, printing machine, you know, put one of there, and then, you know, have you incubate, you know. Like,
did he not uniquely make us?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Every single one of us.
Every one. And can you imagine how many people have been in this world, or will be in this world?
Yes.
And not one is identical to the other.
No.
Not even identical twins. They're still unique.
Absolutely.
We are uniquely made. Oh my gosh.
There's no thumbprint.
None.
I've learned when I was, you know, taking my classes for the firearms that is identical. You know, and there's like, it looks like it's the same like everybody else. I'm like, how can they not be identical? Like no lines crossing, no lines are the same. I'm like, that's not possible. It's not possible. That's why they always take the thumbprints, because it's easy to identify. Thumbprints are the only thing that you have within yourself that is uniquely. So if God took care of the small pieces as your thumbprints, as like, really, who would care about that? Could you imagine how unique you are from your hair, from your brain, from your thoughts, from your desires, from your skills and talents? It's just mind-blowing. Why can't we just celebrate that, right?
To your heart.
And including your heart.
It's like with the self-care. Oh my gosh. What is it about your heart that needs to be fed.
Yes.
How will you make it feel like a child again?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're trying so hard right now, finding the social media and to be just like everybody else, right? I love celebrating my life. I am just crazy about who I am.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't have to prove anything to anyone. It took me a while to get where I am. Being the pastor for like over 20 years, I've been like buried through my identity even. I'm like, who am I? Why am I not happy even though I follow you, God? It took me maybe like my aha moment came like maybe 3 to 4 years ago, and like the past 2 years, bam, this pandemic, they wanted to bury us, but what they did, you know, what do you bury? You bury the seed.
Right.
And seed gets uncomfortable within themselves, and it grows and yes, raises up,
Yes.
and becomes the most beautiful creature ever. And that's what this pandemic did to me. Buried me in a way that I can flourish. I love this moment.
I know it.
To celebrate, and I want every woman to celebrate who they are unapologetically. Unapologetically.
Absolutely. Yeah, because they are who they are.
Yes.
Without all of those scars even, you know, but those scars do make us who we are. That is for sure.
Yes.
If we allow them.
If we allow them, yes.
They can, because they can either tear us down or they can build us up.
It's all personal choices.
Yes, it is.
It's decisions. And I, you know, as I was speaking on the stage, I always say that decision has a, you know, the meaning, right? D means do, and side means to kill, like pesticides, genocide, right? All of the side means to kill. So what decide means do or die moment. So every time we make a decision, it is pretty much like do or die moment. What do I do? Every decision we make is going to impact us eventually tomorrow, in a week, next month. You know, a career we choose, the person we marry, what do I eat, you know, education you're going to take. So it all going to make us, you know, impact us. That's our decisions. It's hard. Sometimes I feel like I wish I can hire somebody who will just make all the decisions for me. So if something doesn't work out, I'm like, their fault. But unfortunately.
No, because they don't have our heart either.
No.
So they could make it, but it wouldn't probably be exactly,
sometimes
you know,
it's so
what
hard.
we wanted. And it's even with the bad choices that we have made. And I have made some really bad choices in my life, you know, but it's, are they going to take me under, or are they going to build me up?
We will
and
never
then
know.
Becomes my story.
Yep, like we would never know what would happen. We always live with should've, could've, would've, right? What would it happen all the time?
Yes.
So I ask myself what would happen like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, if I stayed in a marriage or things like that. So I don't know. We don't know unless we would go back and change things to the, I don't know. So we don't. So all we have to do is just not to blame ourselves from the past, not to keep us, you know, with the chain. In the past, but you know, just embrace it and just move on. Literally to move on. It takes guts. It takes courage.
Yes, it does.
For us to make decisions. And like you said, the woman is very strong.
Yes.
Creation, right? And I don't want to brag about it, but I have to mention that women were created to support and help men.
Absolutely. That's exactly why God created them.
Does it mean that he saw men as a weak person?
No.
No, but they mean that they didn't have everything that they needed to become one. He said, to become one, you need the woman. You need the right woman by your side.
Yes,
yep. That's
exactly.
Yep.
Created them together.
Exactly. And in my book, I started one chapter about women with this quote. And it says this: do you know why God created the woman second after he created the man? Because the master, first he does the sketch, and then he creates the masterpiece.
That's right.
And the quote was anonymous, and I think I know why. I don't think anybody wants to take a blame responsibility for it, but whoever did was a smart and genius.
I was going to say, because he messed up the first time, you had to get it right the second time, right?
I'll take it too. I'll take it too. So, but we all need this kind of little bit of laughter reminder.
Absolutely.
Because it's all balance in the world, right? Men cannot live without women. That's period. You know, women can, I think, survive without men, right?
But it's not the same.
It's not going to be the same. We need both for the balance, for the God's unity, for His vision to come alive. right? But he wants to create a healthy relationships, healthy marriages, and everything healthy, right? And divine. But there's other side that is fighting him right now, right? That's the sin,
gosh, right.
that's the loss, that's the the worldly stuff that's out there, and oh boy, it's a tough choices for everyone.
It is. Yeah.
Sometimes you never know who you meet unless you get to know the person or live with the person, and like you're like, really, no.
Yeah. And that comes down to that thing too, is, if God will lead us, if we will just be still and be quiet and let God do it all.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
If I would have just listened to him so much better, I wouldn't have made some of the choices that I have made. But, the choices and the scars and everything has led me to where I am today. And
exactly.
I wouldn't change any of it.
No.
There's probably one of them that I would change, and that would be the fact of I would have loved to see what my little girl would have grown up to be, but
tell us more about that fact that you had to do abortion.
And that was, it still comes down to a choice. I had to choose, right? I'm the one that did it, but the ex-husband, because we had started off as an affair, was so worried about what his reputation in town was going to be, because he was a big business owner and stuff, and all of a sudden he was divorced from his wife, and then his girlfriend ends up pregnant, and so it was a mess for sure, but it was never ever too messy that God couldn't have taken care of it, right? And so I went along with him, and I went and had an abortion, and that probably was the most difficult thing I have ever been through in my life. And it took the longest to heal from. It really did, because it took the betrayal, it took all of that, to finally bring that out and to become healing. And then through the healing journey is when God started giving me those visions of her, of him and her chasing butterflies in heaven, and they're colors that you can't describe. I mean, you could say that it's green or blue or yellow or whatever, but that doesn't describe the colors that I saw. And that was what I needed to know, where she was, and that she's okay. And that
what's her name?
Melissa Lee. I always wanted to name a girl Melissa, and that's exactly what I would have named her. And you know what that means?
Butterfly.
Honeybee.
Oh,
honeybee.
Melissa is a honeybee.
Yes.
Hope, yep. So she's there chasing the butterflies with God.
Yes, and and then he showed me the pictures of her, out at the ocean, and it just.
What does she look like?
She's got curlyish, blondish, like dirty blondish, like hair, and just. Yeah, and she's in a yellow dress, and it was so ironic that God did that, because yellow is my most favorite color.
Oh my
and what is the honeybee? They're yellow and black too, right? And it's just like, he just amazes me, the things that he does just to help heal our heart. He gives us the desires of our heart. He really does, and just those special moments like that. And she's a part of my family. She's not something that isn't there anymore. Because I can say I have 2 children on earth and I have 1 in heaven.
Yes.
She's a part of my family. That's healing. And
Amen.
that's what God can do. That's what he did through this recovery, because he brought out that deepest hurt. Yeah, being the molested and all of that. I mean, and the ordeal that I went through, with the ex-husband and all of that. But it's what I chose to do that hurt me the worst, because I can remember waking up from that table just screaming and crying. What did I do? What did I just do? I knew exactly what I did, and to think about how that all took place, oh my gosh, no wonder I shoved it down. I couldn't deal with it then.
But could you imagine?
It still hurts today, but not horribly. I mean, I think he leaves that hurt there for a reason.
Yes.
He really does. Yes. So
but could you imagine what would have happened to this vision if you did not open your eyes to be, to God? If you would not chase His heart, your eyes will be closed to see this vision that God had prepared for you.
Yes.
He prepared you first before He gave you the vision about your daughter. Because if He didn't get your heart, you know, you would
I
not
would not
receive
see
this.
that.
No, you would
No,
never see that.
no.
So I'm wondering how many people out there that God is knocking to their hearts, trying to say, hey, I have a vision for you. I have a message for you. Hey, just open. That's all you need to do. I'm safe. I
Oh,
won't
wow.
hurt you. I
Yes.
promise you. And I wonder how many people are so stubborn right now too, because you know that there's a famous picture when Jesus is knocking the door. There's no handle from outside.
No.
There's handle from inside, because it's our choice,
That's right.
our decision to open from within. We have a keys, not God.
No.
So I hope people will know that it's safe. He's not going to hurt you. If you don't like him, you can just ask him to leave. But
Yeah.
he's not going to hurt you. But I'm sure that when he gets into your heart, you will never want to have him
You
leave,
will never,
ever.
ever be the same.
No,
Never.
no.
No.
It's going to be like a drinking the new, like a honey, drinking all of this, you know, pleasurably drinks, you know, and enjoying this on a daily message.
Right.
And Tonni, I know we have a woman out there who is lonely,
No.
who is struggling right now, who also did abortions forcefully, who also has a husband who doesn't support, or boyfriend that beats her up, who has a dreams and aspirations, but nobody hears her. Nobody hears her. Nobody knows she exists. I want you to talk to her right now and tell her exactly what God will put on your heart.
Yeah. Lord. You know, I just want to say to you that you're precious. You're beautiful. No matter what you have done in your life, because, you know, for my abortion and other things, I have done some really horrible things in my life. And you know what? My Father still loves me. He died on the cross for me a long time ago, knowing what I was going to do. And he still did it anyway. And he did it for you too. And I want you to know that if you need anyone, I am here. When I say this, I'm serious. Because my phone number is out there everywhere. And I don't mind a phone call from a stranger. Because there's not a stranger that I know. Once you connect with them. And I want you to know there is nothing that you have done that God cannot forgive, that he cannot heal. You're priceless. You are priceless. You're an amazing woman. You may have a whole lot of stuff that have covered up all of the good right now. But I tell you what, if you will take the time and if you will allow him, if you will give yourself permission to start pulling back all of those things, you will find that beautiful, beautiful heart on the inside. And it will be so amazing that it will just astonish you. And you will find out how precious and priceless you truly, truly are. More than anything, I hope and I pray that you become a daughter of the Most High King, because there is no precious gift like that.
Amen. Amen to this. And I just wanted to encourage you, ladies out there, that this guest, she flew all the way from Colorado to support us, to bring her love from the people that she knows from Colorado, to support us here in Minneapolis, to let us know that they're there for us. They love us, they support us, they see you, they hear you, they want to be by your side. And we want to also encourage you to let you know that God can take your sorry story to make a glory story. That this is not over for you. Give him a chance. Just a little bit. Just give him a little bit of chance. Give a little bit of room from your heart. And I cannot tell you enough the transformation that you're about to experience. He hears, he knows, he heals, he gives, he transforms, he loves you so very much. And I just wanted to let you know that please follow up with our guest. She's really sincere when she says that to please call her. Call her. You never know. You never know, because you cannot do it alone. I know you're weary. I know you've tried so many times. You failed. You're tired. You're exhausted. But we're here for you. Call us. Connect with us. Come to the studio. Share your story. God loves you. We'll see you next time. It was Ilona. And may God bless you.